everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Thank you so much for joining me here today for this Christmas cottage speed build, which I'm kind of excited about because I think this is the first British inspired house that I've ever built on the channel, so I'm kind of excited to do this. So if you guys didn't know this, if you hadn't guessed from my accent alone, I live and I'm from the UK, so this is kind of exciting for me because I think the houses that we have in the UK are just so gorgeous, and I can't believe this is the first time that I've actually built one. So it's kind of like a Christmas cottage sort of thing, so that's obviously why it's called Christmas Cottage. And so we keep things, I want to say we keep things quite simple outside, but the outside proved to be a little bit of a task for me just because I think I'm used to doing and building American architecture, and so this kind of posed as slightly more of a challenge for me, which is odd because obviously, as I said, I am from the UK, so I'm surrounded by British architecture and British houses, and yet I had a hard time, even though I had obviously a reference image with me, as I always do when I built this house, and it's probably more loosely based off of the reference image, so I think I use that for just the sort of general shape outside, and then I add sort of all the foliage on the brickwork and the trees outside, and just tried to make it look Christmassy because this will be the last Christmas house on the channel until obviously next year. And I had planned on this coming out on Christmas Eve, but you know, life does get in the way sometimes, and I ended up working, and so I did not have time to get this house out. I actually built this in a lot of different sittings because I kept going backwards and forwards on it, and I wasn't 100% happy with it all the way through, and there were times when I wanted to just sort of ditch it, and I'm glad I didn't because I think I am quite happy with the overall look and the overall feel that it gives, but it did take a little while for me to get to this point. But just talking of Christmas, I hope you all had an amazing Christmas, and I know it's been an unusual Christmas for a lot of us, you know, given the circumstance that 2020 has brung, but I do hope that you all had an amazing Christmas nonetheless, and I had a really nice day with my family, and I haven't seen my family for a really long time, obviously given the circumstances, so it was so nice to see them, and I don't know when I'm going to get to see them again, so I think we were just trying to cherish every moment really with each other because we didn't know when we were going to see each other next. And so I hope you guys had a lovely day as well, whatever you were doing. I hope you had an amazing day. And I am really sad that this is going to be the last Christmas house on the channel for a while. I absolutely have loved doing these Christmas builds for you guys, and it kind of marks not the end of an era because it's not that deep, but it does mark the end of something for me on the channel, and I'm kind of sad that I'm not going to get to do anything like this for quite some time. So I'd built it already and I wanted to get it out and up for you guys because that was quite important to me, and yeah, I am quite happy with how it turned out in the end, and I absolutely adore building in these lots in particular in Newcrest, these 3 lots here that are all next to each other, because the lighting, no matter what season you're in, is just absolutely incredible. And just speaking of Newcrest, I have been thinking for a while that I might release my own save file this year, and I think I will be building in Newcrest. So if you have any house requests, anything that you would like to see, I would absolutely love if you could let me know. You can either drop me a comment down below, you can get in contact with me on Twitter, on Tumblr, Instagram, however you would like to contact me. And yeah, I think I'd quite like some house ideas because I have been thinking for a while that I would like to do a save file, and it is something that has been requested of me before. And so I think that is something that I would like to like to get my teeth into this year. I think that would be pretty cool. And so what we'll probably start doing is like a series on the channel, you know, where we're calling it, you know, building Newcrest or Rachel's save file or something along those lines. And I think that'd be really cool if we could do that. And I think I might even try and build some community lots, which is kind of scary for me because I'm not very good, I don't think, at building community lots. Not that I've really tried all that often, but I thought it would be kind of cool if we built a cute little cafe and we built some sort of gym or a library, I don't know, or a veterinary centre, and something like that. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to plan it out first on the map, and then I think it might be kind of cool if we did that on the channel. I would really enjoy that. And I know there's a few people that have asked me in the past if I would consider doing a save file, and the answer was always absolutely. And so I don't see why we can't do that this year. So I think I'm pretty much talking myself into it at this point. So I hope yeah, just look out for that on the channel. I think that's going to be really exciting. And so this house, I have such a love-hate relationship with this house because, as I said, I ended up quite liking it. I wouldn't go as far to say as that I love the way this house ended up turning out, just because I think it's a little bit... I love the outside of it. I think that ended up looking really cute, especially with all the foliage growing on the brickwork outside. I thought that looked really nice. The inside, there are elements of it that I really like, and then there are elements of it that I look back on and I think could be improved upon. But I always do this with my houses. I'm never ever 1000% happy with how they look, and this is just me in general, but there's always room for improvement with anything that I do, and that's in my personal life as well as building in The Sims. So I always look to the next thing, and it just reminds me of that line from The Incredibles, and she says, "I never look back, darling, it distracts from the now." And I think they're words to live by, really. Don't look back too much, just focus on what you can do in the future. And so that's kind of how I think. So I look back on some of my speed builds on the channel, and I only started this channel 4 months ago, I think it is now, 4 or 5 months ago, and I look back on like some of my earlier ones and I'm thinking, oh no, they're just not good. And even some of the stuff that I did like last week or 2 weeks ago, I'm not 100% happy with. So that's just me in general, I guess, you know. But the living room here ended up being, I wanted it to be small. I didn't want it to be huge because I wanted it to be cozy and quaint and just really homey, really. So hopefully we kind of got that across. And then I went backwards and forwards on the colour palette, and I ended up changing the sofas from the cream swatch to the dark green swatch, I believe. Yeah, and then we switch out the curtains. They end up being cream. I don't know, I found it quite a hard room to do, really, which is odd. Because normally with living rooms, especially living rooms of this size, I don't struggle all that much, but with this one, I don't know, I think I had in the back of my mind as well, I didn't want it to be like any of the other living rooms that I'd done, because obviously I've done quite a few Christmas speed builds on the channel this year because I've wanted to get in the festive spirit, and I didn't want them to be all the same. And I think this is the 4th or 5th Christmas themed speed build that we're doing, and I'm always very aware not to make things too samey, you know, to make things as original as I can kind of make them. But I'm rambling as always. So yeah, we're pretty much done with that room now, and then we move on to the kitchen, dining room, and just on the left there is a small downstairs bathroom. So this is, I don't think I've mentioned, is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom family house, and it was definitely important to me that this was family friendly and just homey, festive, and I'm hoping we achieve that. I'm not, you know, like as I said, there are elements of this that I'm not 100% happy with. The kitchen is okay. Again, I struggled with colour palettes and swatches, and because I wanted it to be kind of like a typical British country house, and it just ended up not going in that direction because I don't like the interior of the build. I don't even know what kind of style this is, if I'm completely honest. I just feel like I've sort of like bunged a lot of items together that I think look okay and there's no real theme, but I would definitely like to try and do a really classic British house. I think that would be kind of fun to try and tackle. I might even try and build my real life house in The Sims, because I think that'd be kind of cool too, because I actually live in a 3-story new build townhouse, if you guys didn't already know, and I think that might be kind of fun to do. And I have wanted to build townhouses for quite some time actually in The Sims, and I might even consider doing that as well. There's a lot of things that I want to do in 2021, and I've got a lot of build ideas written down, and so yeah, hopefully we can get cracking with them and just, I don't know, have fun on the channel this year. And yeah, I'm excited for what the future holds. And so obviously this space here is the dining area, and then I wanted this room to have a Christmas tree as well, and so I had to shrink down the Christmas tree just once to fit it there. So as you walk into the house, the Christmas tree is on your right hand side, which I recognise is not ideal, but you know, it's a festive family house, you know, that's what we were going for with this. And so I really like this table. I think this table's from the free holiday pack that we got, and I have talked about this before on the channel as well, and I can't remember when we got this free pack update, but I am aware that not, and correct me if I'm wrong here, that not everyone has that pack, and I don't quite know how that sort of happened. I'm not too up to date with things like that, but if you don't have that pack, then things are easily changeable. But yeah, I think the kitchen, the whole of the downstairs really, I had a hard time with, and then the master bedroom upstairs I had a hard time with. The only rooms that I found easy to do in this house were the children's rooms upstairs, because I find children's rooms an absolute joy to decorate, and I just have a lot of fun with them, and so I think I pretty much just do whatever and it comes easily to me, whereas kitchens usually come easily to me as well. But with this build, this just didn't, for whatever reason, and I think it's potentially because I was trying to make it a certain way and I kind of lost it halfway through, and so it's not the most perfect kitchen I've ever built, I don't think, but it's not the worst either, you know, it's just okay. There's lots of things to do. I even put a dog bowl down here, which is something that I usually miss out of my builds, and I have talked about this on the channel as well before, because I'm one of these people that when I play The Sims, my families always have a pet, always, without fail. And I don't know if any of you guys are the same. And then when I do my speed builds, I don't ever really put down anything for pets to do, so I always find that kind of strange. But yeah, we're just working on the bathroom downstairs here. Again, it's not, you know, it's just a toilet and a sink, and pretty much all the bathrooms are quite small in this house, but I think it's kind of cool that there are 3 of them, so it's just a little bit more accessible really. And they're pretty much all decorated kind of the same way, you know, they've all got the same wall swatch and floor swatch, because I like to have that continuity within my builds. I don't know if anyone else is the same. And as always, I did the floor plan off camera, because particularly with upstairs floor plans, I do struggle a lot of the time with them. And then I also decided to use this bed here, which I think, don't quote me, came with the base game, and I've never ever used it before, and I thought this would kind of be a good opportunity to use it, because it gives off the right sort of theme and vibe that we were going for with the house. And so the room is such a good size, and it's got an ensuite there, as you can see as well, and I did want to make it festive, because I think a lot of the time when I do these Christmas themed houses, the bedrooms aren't festive, and so I kind of wanted to just make this room festive, and I had such a hard time, honestly, with this room. It really did. I don't want to say it stressed me out, I won't go that far. It wasn't an enjoyable experience, because bedrooms aren't for me anyway, but this one in particular, just, I don't know, it really stumped me. It really stumped me. And so it's not the best bedroom I've ever built, so I apologise for that. And then I realised that I wanted to put a fireplace in here as well. We ended up putting it. Oh my gosh, you can tell I haven't done a voiceover for, I think it's been about a week since I did my last speed build on the channel, so I'm a little bit rusty, which is something else that I want to try and combat in the next year, is some sort of upload schedule. So I do work full time, and obviously, you know, for people that work full time, it is challenging to try and fit, you know, in time to do everything that we want to do with our channels. And you know, when you take into consideration that a house on average takes me anywhere between sort of 2 and 4 hours to build, and that's just the building, that doesn't include taking the video for the start of the speed build, editing all the screenshots, doing the voiceover, compiling it all into one video. You know, it doesn't, I'm not including any of that. And so I love doing it, I enjoy doing it, but it, you know, is a time consuming thing. And I think, you know, with me having a full-time job outside of this, it is challenging, and I am doing my best. And I just want you guys to know that I don't ever want you guys to think that I'm ever doing anything by a half, because I'm really not. You know, I want everything that goes up, I want it to be of a certain quality. I want it to be, I don't want to say perfect, because, you know, my stuff isn't perfect, but it's as perfect as I want it to be. And I'm rambling again, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What I'm trying to say is I want to be proud of what I'm putting out for you guys. And, you know, I'd rather put out 2 speed builds a week and then be really good quality than try and do speed builds 4 or 5 times a week and then be lesser quality, and then I'm feeling burnt out and then I'm not enjoying it anymore. So it's just about finding that balance, I guess. And yeah, hopefully we can find that in the new year and just find some sort of upload schedule that I can stick to. But we will see. And I also want to try and do a little bit of live streaming on YouTube as well. So I am really, really excited for the future of the channel. And I don't know if I tell you guys enough, but thank you so much for all of your support and sort of this chapter of my life that I've decided to start on. You know, starting YouTube, it's a nerve-wracking thing, but you guys have made it really, really easy on me, and I just find it an absolute pleasure to do. And so I'm not going to get too soppy, I'm not going to get too, you know, into it, but just wanted to say thank you. So this is, let's go back to the build. This is one of the children's bedrooms, and it ended up being such a cute colour palette. I really do like this bedroom, and it sleeps 2 Sims, so they could be teenagers, they could be children. If one of your Sims is a toddler, you can swap out one of the beds for a toddler bed. You can pretty much do anything you want to do with this house, and it would adapt quite nicely, I think. And we put this cute little desk area in here, and it ends up just being really nice, and I think it looks so good. And I absolutely love, and I think it's quite an underestimated stuff pack, is the kids room stuff pack. That wardrobe in the corner there is one of my go-to wardrobes, because I think it's just classic looking, it's clean looking, and it goes with pretty much any bedroom, that one just there. And I think it's just such an underrated pack. And if you don't have the pack and you are in a position to get the pack and you're thinking, oh, what pack should I get next, please consider the kids room pack, especially if you're a builder as well, because it's just such a lovely, they have such a lovely build and buy catalogue as well. So yeah, definitely. And then we end up adding some pops of colour in here, just because I realised that it was looking quite muted and quite, I don't want to say boring, because it absolutely wasn't, but I just wanted it to have a little bit more personality than where it was going, so we decided to just add some pops of colour. And then this is the main bathroom upstairs. Again, nothing spectacular, nothing, you know, too special about it, but it's fully functional, and I am definitely glad I put it there, because if I hadn't You know, the only other bathroom would have been downstairs. And then also I think the bedrooms would have just been too big, you know, and then this bedroom here on the right ends up being just a single room, but it turned out so nicely, and I'm so happy with how this came out. I actually built this today, decorated this room today, because as I said, I've done this house over quite a lot of sittings, so this was the last thing that I built, and I'm really happy with how it came out. I'm just using that wardrobe again, you know, from the kids room stuff pack, which I really liked. And then I also end up using, I don't want to say it's a rug from the kids room stuff pack because I'm not entirely sure, but we end up taking that rug out and replacing it with a different one, and it's a rug that I've never ever I don't think used before, and I just found it today. I don't know why it caught my eye, and I thought I'm going to use that. So I did, and yeah, we're just here sort of adding the final touches, cluttering it up, and just making it really homey and cozy, and like a room that your Sims would want to spend time in. But I am going to leave you guys here, and you can watch the rest of the speed build in peace, but screenshots are at the end of the video as always if you'd like to see what the build looks like in game. The tray files are available to download from the description down below, and the house is available to download from the gallery under my origin ID, which is RachelPedd. But thank you so much again for joining me here today, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye!